guys, I am back once again, and this time we're going to talk about my Corpsegrinder gang that I'm going to play with tomorrow. Sadly, I do not have access to the core book yet. Thanks, postal services in Sweden. What the hell are you doing? You're ruining my life. But I do have access to the gangs with Underhive, and I also have a cheat sheet here, which is sort of a gang. You guys are just going to have to wait for the skills part in a later part of this video. I'm going to film that tomorrow and just edit it in fast. So when this video goes out, I have already played a game with these guys, and I'll kind of be able to tell you how that went. I chose the Corpsegrinders because I have always been a huge fan of the Khorne, the Lord of Skin and Sinew, which is Khorne, to be honest. I've always had at least one Khorne army. Currently I do play Blades of Khorne in Age of Sigmar, which I pretty much have done from the beginning, but I also started off, like I have three main armies that have been my go-to kind of things over the years, and that would be the Undead Khorne of all its iterations, Undead also, you know, Necrons and stuff like that, but Undead Khorne and Skaven. And when the sort of opportunity arises to play Khorne in other games, I always do. Am I going to play Blood Bowl? I'm going to play the Khorne gang, of course. So for this, for Necromunda now, I have also heard that we got hit pretty bad with the nerf hammer. It was admittedly needed, because the Corpsegrinders were very, very good, and it always kind of felt bad when I charged something and you just knew that whatever it is, it's gonna die. It doesn't matter what it is, it's just gonna get totally destroyed. Though I don't think that's the problem anymore. I think we did get a nerf. I don't know how much of a nerf though, because I haven't played the game yet, and since the rules have changed, other things have also changed. But sure, we don't have the masks anymore, so no fearsome and terrorizing, whatever that was. So no extra buff to save, but we do have a pretty good save on our leaders, at least 5+. We also pretty much lost every single ability that our guys had from the get-go. Like, we cannot infiltrate initiates anymore, which is also a very good thing, because infiltrating initiates with Hellflamers was, that's like the definition of OP. And that's not fun. Games like Necromunda, you're not supposed to go for the meta, you're supposed to do it for the narrative fun. And I think the list that I have made kind of is able to sort of play into the fun and also make it very characterful, what I'm gonna do with the gang, sort of. But yeah, quick breakdown of the guys. I'm gonna put pictures here. Ooh, you can see them. As I introduce my characters. We do have still our fantastic Butcher. Oh my god, he's not as awesome as he used to be, but he's pretty decent. He is a step up from a basic human, sort of, in most ways. He's toughness 3 though, but so don't get him shot before getting into combat, which is going to be kind of hard. But movement 5, weapon skill is 3+, and ballistic skill is 4+. You're not going to shoot with this guy, so we don't really care about that. Strength 4, constant strength 4 is very, very good. It means he's going to wound a lot of things on at least 3 up, which is great, because you need to wound everything in combat, pretty much. Initiative 3 is not that great for a combat guy. That's kind of a letdown. 3 attacks, 5 up save. Mental stats are yeah, 8s and 7. Let's go with that. This guy really, really needs to get into combat. And with our special rule that we get +1 experience if we kill something on a charge, he really needs that. He really needs to get into combat as fast as possible and start hitting things. Doesn't really matter what, as long as he's starting to kill stuff, you're gonna level up pretty fast. And that's across the board with these guys. So as long as you stay like a murderous, rampaging maniac, everything's gonna be fine. And he has got access to the brawn and savant skill lists as primaries, and then secondary is combat and cunning. So I'm probably gonna go for a brawn, I guess. It's gonna be pretty much the thing here. Perhaps I might find something funny in savant. You'll see later in the video once I get a hold of that. And then it's just like brawn and combat for most of the guys, going from this brawn and or combat. So my list is gonna be, you need to have a butcher. You can't get away from him. So you're gonna worship this guy because this is the guy that you want, sort of. But everybody else is gonna have to be good as well, because you don't want, like, you could build a build with just bunching on everything onto your butcher and then building some derpy guys that are supposed to be standing around. But in Necromunda that's not good, because you might not get to bring your butcher to every game, because it might be a random deployment thing, so you might lose him, so you can't play with him all the time. So you need to have like that all-round gang where everybody can do something, otherwise you are gonna have a very hard time. And then we have our cutter. The cutters do not dervish anymore, sadly, so yeah, we lost that ability. They're kind of cheap, 80 credits. They're a step down from the Corpsegrinder Butcher, which is kind of nice. They're not that much worse than he is. You can put a lot of fun stuff on these guys as well. And we're going to get to the fun stuff later on. They also have Initiative 3, Weapon Skill 3, slightly worse Ballistic Skill. Once again, we do not care, because shooting is for weak people. People we do not admire at all. Strength 3, that's it's low, but you know, it is what it is. You can still put stuff on this guy to get him more power, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, no dervish, no fun at all, no mask, no nothing. So yeah, and he still has a 5-up save. Still, I say, he has a 5-up save. And 2 attacks. Then we have our skinners. These are our gangers. So the skinners are your basic Corpsegrinder guy. And you probably want some of these. We don't have that rule where you need to have an amount of skinners and an amount of initiates. You can mix and match as you like. So you can totally skip out on the initiates if you want to, and you can totally skip out on skinners if you would want to. You could pretty much do a Corpsegrinder gang with like 4 initiates, a butcher, and 2 cutters, and a chaos spawn. I wouldn't recommend it though. That gang would probably get eaten alive by pretty much everybody else pretty fast, but it would be a cool gang. Your skinners is pretty much just a basic human being. That's it. They are very, very basic. And I think this just seems a little bit weird, but they have initiative 4, so they have higher initiative than everybody else in this gang. Except if you roll a 6 on the spawn, you can also get initiative 4. So yeah, the skinners are going to be very fast, because now the dash action, which is your double, the run action pretty much, allows you to move your movement plus your initiative. So the skinners are going to be a little bit faster than everybody else in this gang, at the start at least. And then we got the chaos spawn. The chaos spawn is good if you roll good, it's bad if you don't, and it's 130 credits for something that's random. So it could be fun. Narratively, it's definitely fun. I personally do not think that the chaos spawn sort of fits with the Corpsegrinder aesthetic, because I think that once somebody reaches that level, they will just be grinded down. They will be tomorrow's corpse starch, kind of. Because in my mind, I can't see these guys sort of thinking that a chaos spawn is something good. But yeah, we get a chaos spawn, we can use that thing, and it's got a bunch of rules, and it could be fun. I might try it out someday, but not this time. Sadly, couldn't afford it once I started adding all the expensive equipment on. We still have we have all of the equipment that we used to have. There's chain glaives, there's flensing knives, flensing swords, there is heavy chain cleavers, and we also have our fantastic rotary flensing saw. It's an amazing weapon, at least narratively. It is pretty good now as well, I guess, with heavy melee, shred, 5-up, and unwieldy, but it's got strength +2, so that the cutter is going to have a strength of 5, an AP -2, and 2 lethality. So this thing takes other people out of action easily. If you can roll good, which I can't. You might have seen that somewhere on the internet before at my friend's Mats channel. However, it's pretty good. But it's also, you can also take a heavy rock saw, and it's got pretty much the same, but it's strength +3, AP -3, lethality 2, damage 2, heavy, melee, unwieldy. And the sort of difference is 30 credits. It's 30 credits more than the flensing saw. So I guess if you're going up against something really hard, like, I don't know, ogres or something, take a heavy rock saw and have fun. Otherwise, you're going to be wounding most people on 2s anyways. Sort of. You're going to be easily wounding stuff. They have added the Corpsegrinders cult icon, and now it actually says that it is a single action. They have defined it as a single action, which I heard was sort of like not done before. It was kind of fluid, is it an action or not? Well, now it's a single action, and I'm going to use the icon because I've got an idea of my list, and I'm going to tell you a bit about it. So yeah, the Corpsegrinders are corpse grinding. They are all sounding like old school Swedish death metal guitars all the time. Like, put on a Dismember album and you'll hear it. You will hear the Corpsegrinders saws going bananas. So with this in mind, I did make a quick little list. It's not done yet because I don't have access to the skills, as I said. They will come in a later segment of this video. But I started off the butcher with paired heavy chain cleavers because I like the idea. They might not be the best weapon out there, I don't know. I just want to have paired heavy chain cleavers because that's fun. And that brings him, he's very expensive. I also put smoke grenades on him because I want to be able to sort of hide where I'm going. I'm just going to throw grenades out there. It's going to be fun. Then I have my first cutter, and he's got a rotary flensing saw. Yeah, that's him. And he is also, yeah, that's him. He's got a rotary flensing saw. He's just going to run up and start murdering stuff. The second cutter, though, I haven't really decided on this guy, because I'm going to remove the rotary flensing saw from him and just give him like paired heavy chain cleavers or something, because I'm going to put smoke grenades on a lot of guys. But this guy also carries the cult icon. There's an idea here that I have, because these guys are kind of fast as it is. They are movement 5 and initiative 3 except for the skinners, so that means that they're gonna be able to move at least 8 inches every turn. The cult icon on this cutter that's mostly gonna be standing still, because he's gonna do the cult icon stuff. The cult icon gives you D3. Let's see, I'm gonna mess this up if I don't read it, because I had it in my head and I don't. All friendly fighters that are completely within 6 inches of this fighter that have a ready marker and are active add D3 to the movement characteristics until the end phase of this round. That means that you get at least 1 more inch of movement and up to 3 inches more movement, which makes you even faster, which is fun, because being fast is kind of fun. Yeah, so he's yeah, cult icon, paired heavy chain cleavers, happy guy. Skinner 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 Skinners. They will all carry paired chain cleavers, paired butcher's chain cleavers, because that is fun for some weird reason. They will also have smoke grenades, because we're gonna toss smoke grenades as much as we possibly can to hide our advance, and we are gonna advance very fast and just throw grenades where we can and to cover our tracks. So that's what they all have. And then we have 2 initiates, one with a smoke grenade, and they have flensing knives and stub pistols, because they are going to be cheap. These are our meat shield. These are the guys that are going to be on the menu tomorrow, pretty much. But one of them is also going to have a smoke grenade. As I said, we throw the grenades, get out of trouble, we can just run up and do our thing. To round this list off, I have added a dome runner. And that is once again for one simple reason. It's very easy. It's a 50 credit character, or supplementary fighter, hanger-on. He's got an ability, in my world it's a she, because that's the model I have, the old 421. But this girl, after deployment, but before the first priority roll, if a dome runner is on the battlefield, these 3 friendly fighters may move a distance equal to the initiative characteristic, and we only do this once per battle. That means that with some luck, I can put my butcher, a cutter, and a skinner, or something like it, up to like 18 inches, no, 14 or 15 inches up the board in the first round. That makes my insane murder maniacs kind of fast. Not Escher fast, but they're kind of fast. And that's what I'm going for here. I want these guys to just run fast up the board, pop smoke grenades, cover ourselves, and then like turn 2, start murdering whatever is on the other side. That's the idea, at least. And I hope I'm going to be able to bring that together, because I want to play this sort of like a totally insane person. I don't really care about their shooting. I'm just going to go all the way in. Let them try. And hopefully it will not make me lose every game, even though we got hit with a nerf hammer. But I don't think it's a nerf. I think we see an opportunity to make other kinds of lists. And I'm really looking forward to seeing if they're going to give these guys a journal, because they really need a journal and extra entries on their roster to bring some more flavor, perhaps. First and foremost, bring some more viable builds. We need some more stuff to be able to mix and match a little bit better. But with what we got right now, I think this could be fun. I hope it is, and I hope that the skills that I'm gonna be reading to you in a couple of seconds is gonna bring out the best of these guys, and it's gonna be fun on the table. So let's hop on over to the skills, which I'm gonna record in a couple of hours tomorrow. But yeah, let's see what we can get out of these guys. So what skills did I actually choose? Well, I have played the game now. I have to say I really liked the game. It's amazing. And my Corpsegrinders, well, I'm gonna say I think we didn't really get a nerf. You know? That is the thing. I don't think we got hit that bad. But we need to refigure out how to do things. And that's where things are gonna get weird, I guess. Because you have to think, the difference between the Corpsegrinding cult from last edition into this edition is pretty much the same as the Chaos Warriors of Khorne from 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition fantasy, and today's Blades of Khorne from Age of Sigmar. Back then you just charge right back in, kill everything, and run them over. And Blades of Corn today, you actually have to have some tactics, and you need to think about things, and you have to synergize a lot before you can actually run things over. And sometimes you need to sacrifice some of your own pawns to reach your goal. And I kind of feel it's the same way with the Corpsegrinders. Perhaps not the sacrifice part, you really can't afford that. You are sort of an elite gang with the cost of the weapons that we actually have. But the skills, this is where it all went very, very fun. Since I had 3 specialists, I gave them pretty much all the same skill. I wasn't that kind of boring. But let's start off with my leader. And my leader got it very easy. Nerfs of Steel. There you go. Because I didn't want him to just be stopped by a single bullet as easily. So yeah, Nerfs of Steel, being able to not get suppressed by using a cool check. We have pretty good cool with this gang, so that's a pretty nice skill to have. On my 2 cutters, I actually changed it up a little bit because I got the one with the rotary flensing saw, and for him I just gave him Nerfs of Steel as well, so he could get in there. But I was thinking about the other guy, since he has the trophy rack, the cult icon. I wanted him to be able to sort of stay away, so it was or do something else. So I didn't really know what to give him, and then I had a look at the combat skills, and I saw that we can have Rain of Blows. Rain of Blows is very, very good. Well, apparently you can stack the free action that the Rain of Blows gives you to sort of fight twice in the first fight activation that you do. Which is kind of cool with a guy who's got like 5 attacks or something when he brings it on with his paired chain cleavers, butcher's cleavers or whatever they're called. So he gets pretty badass using that skill. And I really liked it. It worked out for me. I did stuff with him that I wasn't supposed to do, and I actually charged him into stuff today. And boy, did he at least try to kill things. My dice rolls are, as always, epically bad. But he tried, and he sort of figured it out a little bit. And then we come to the specialist. And this is weird. Because I used Mundo Manager, and I didn't manage to find the rule, or if there is a rule in this book that says that you cannot take skills that are not ordinarily available to you. So I didn't. I actually took Clamber on my guys to make use of the speed that I get from every other ability in my gang. And Clamber allows me to move up walls as if there was a staircase or a ladder there. Which is very good if you want to move a lot and you're not that fast actually, but you can get faster. And that's, I don't know, that might be wrong by me, I have no idea. Tell me in the comments if it is. I will change it, but it seemed kind of cool to have these murderous rampaging maniacs just running up walls, especially since they are initiative 4 for some reason. I don't get why the basic ganger guys are better initiative than everybody else except the spawn, but yeah, that's sort of it. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did. You can of course take Savant on your leader, and there are some things that could be good if you're doing a campaign, like the Connected could be probably very, very good. You don't need stuff like Munitioneer because you don't have anything, nobody shoots. Mentor could kind of be good. I don't think we care about Iron Will. Fast Reload, obviously not. Medicate, I don't know if the Lord of Skin and Sinew wants you to medicate somebody or just use them for food tomorrow. So, don't really know. Otherwise, in combat you of course have Berserker, Frenzy is +1 attack, but you always have to charge and stuff. It sort of feels like the negative is weighing up the positive a little bit too much. But it could be good, I guess, if you want to. I'm not a good player, so tactically and gang creationally, this is like me being dumb, because I'm dumb. You might have better ideas. Please share them so that people that see this video actually can see some good information, perhaps in the comments. Heavy blows could be nice with the rotary flensing saw, with a +1 in strength, using that weapon. But still, you know, you're probably gonna fight last with it anyways, which is not very nice. But yeah, tell me what you think about my sort of list and my ideas. Is there any more cool things I can do with the Corpsegrinders? Tell me, because I'm gonna try it all out. I'm gonna test everything I can with these guys, because I really do love the gang and the concept of the gang, and I really like playing them because I can really feel for them, sort of. Beyond that, I had my first game tonight. It was amazingly fun. We introduced a new player, which was also very, very fun. And I kind of felt like the small rule changes that have been done really kind of unnerfs the nerves. We are just different now than we were before. And this sort of might seem bad, but for me it just feels like, yeah, I need to think a little bit more perhaps about what I'm doing, kind of line things up and work on thinking ahead instead of just charging ahead. You might have to sort of visualize where you want to be in a turn or two, and perhaps not just dash forward all the time. Had a fun moment when my leader was kind of throwing a grenade, but he misfired and dropped the grenade on himself. Luckily it was a smoke grenade, which meant that he couldn't be seen anyways, which stopped my opponent's Vansar from blowing him off the table, which was the purpose of throwing the grenade in the first place. Stuff like that. The smoke grenades really are good. Corpsegrinder, I think the smoke grenades are like essential, sort of. You need them to stop people from shooting you, and also to dominate the board, sort of choosing where things are going to happen and where things are not going to happen, and to cover your guys. Even though lethality seems like it's been sort of pulled down, because in the last edition a lot of the time you couldn't do much, because if you stuck your head out you get shot and then you were down and then you couldn't do anything. And now it doesn't really feel like that. Not that many fighters died in our game, but a lot of damage was dealt, and it was lots of fun to sort of get them back and just turn around and start doing things again, being able to do more. And that's the thing I think this game is focused on today, is that they want you to do and succeed with a lot more stuff, because that feels better. Like hitting someone in combat or shooting is sort of easier, but it's also easier to get a save through, so both players can be happy with the turn, and not just like I couldn't hit you in the entire game and then you couldn't save or something for the entire game. Now I get to do something, and you can also get to do something, and you can get to feel good about what's going on and what's happened. Like, we had a lot of situations where like a shot goes off and somebody saves it, instead of like shot goes off, nothing happens, because nobody hits anything, because everybody's hitting on 6s. But now like the Vansar guys are hitting on 3s, 2s even if they stand still and aim. So they are going to hit you, but you still get sort of a save because it's long range or you're in cover or whatever. So you still get some saves, which is awesome. That feels good. It makes the game feel more fun. There's no negativity in the game that way, because you usually actually manage to do stuff even though you might not do stuff. So the end result is the same, but the journey there is a lot better. That is a very nice piece of game design, I have to say. And I also like that the sort of damage and the lethality sort of... I like the idea of the damage lethality thing, that you can have something that has perhaps 1 damage and 9 lethality. Probably it's not going to happen in the game, but the idea is also that you have 2 damage and 1 lethality. This makes the game a lot more, I don't know, complex by not being more complex. It just adds that extra dimension to something. Like damage 2 isn't that normal. Damage 1 is the norm. Damage 2 is the extreme, sort of. There's probably higher damage things in the game, but today the Vansor guy had a plasma grenade. That was damage 2. That was pretty much the only damage 2 weapon in the game. That also felt nice. Games Workshop should really go back to damage 1 on everything in every game again, and pull back wounds, make it more like it was back in the day, because it felt more real, felt better, I guess. So I like that. I like this game. Everybody should try this game out. I couldn't find a negative sort of during the gameplay today, even though it took a long time because we were totally new. We needed to reference the books and the rules all the time, but it still felt like a good, fun game, and it felt like it's sort of fluent and also very natural in how it works, which feels cool. Feels good. So yeah, hit me up with more Corpsegrinder lists in my comments, please. Throw everything at me. I'm gonna try out some other stuff, and I'm also, since I really like these guys, I am now telling you, I will build a custom Corpsegrinder gang. I will kit bash and convert and sculpt and stuff a new Corpsegrinder gang, and I'm gonna do it for this. It's gonna be cool things, I hope. So stay tuned for that. But until then, this is me signing off. Happy for trying this game out again. So, toodaloo.